Hey y'all, it's Grace. I'm here to talk about the planes of the body and movements within them. The first plane I want to talk about is the sagittal plane. So I'm using my little robe tie here. Um, the sagittal plane goes through the midline of the body and it divides the body into left and right. One thing to note about that is if you are using the terms left and right, to make sure it is in relation to that person's perspective of their body and not yours as the observer. A movement within the sagittal plane would be, say you just did a really amazing performance and you want to bow, you would do a flexion, which is toward the anterior, and then an extension toward the posterior. The next plane would be the frontal or coronal plane, and that goes through the side of me like so, and that divides the body into anterior and posterior, or front and back. And a movement within that plane would be, say you're in class and you have a question, you would raise your hand. So you're moving your arm away from your body. That would be an abduction. And once you got to ask your question or give your answer or whatever, you put your hand back down, which would be an adduction because it is adding back to your body. The next plane I want to talk about is the transverse plane. So this one runs horizontally and divides the body into top and bottom. A movement within that plane would be, say you want to ask for a hug and you stick your arms out like this, you're like, hug? That would be a horizontal abduction. You're moving away. And so you got rejected. They didn't want to give you a hug. So you're like, oh, I'll just hug myself. So you would go like this. So that would be an adduction. You're moving toward the midline. And those are the three planes I wanted to discuss, but just a note about why it's important to use the correct terms. When you do use the correct terminology, you're able to get really specific about what area of the body you're discussing. Or if someone else is using terminology potentially that you are not familiar with, but say you have some understanding of the prefixes and suffixes, you can kind of put those together to understand or decode what the person is talking about. So yeah, that's my video about the body planes. Thanks.